This is Debbie, and welcome to my Offbeat Journey to becoming a full-time location-independent freelancer. I'll be sharing my tips and tricks as well as the realities of this offbeat lifestyle. Have you been thinking about starting a podcast? Well, what are you waiting for? This is the best time to do it. And lucky for you, I have created the most comprehensive ebook to help you start, grow, and monetize your show called How to Create a Profitable Podcast, where I share all of my proven strategies that has allowed me to leave my 9-to-5 to become a full-time podcaster. If you want to learn more, go to howtocreateapodcast.com. Welcome back to another episode of my Offbeat Journey. I am really excited to be speaking with you today and to talk about the topics that we're going to be covering. And I think in the next few months, I'm really going to be focusing on helping you start a podcast. I've been talking a lot about this, obviously, in my social media, website, etc. And of course, I have a new website called howtocreateapodcast.com where I'm sharing new resources for all of you who want to start a podcast, grow it, or even monetize the show that you have now. And I've been getting so many questions that I felt it was now necessary to really highlight all of the tips and tricks that I have learned being a podcaster for the last few years. And if you are just starting and you're brand new, this is especially extremely helpful for you in order to do this properly and to grow and to also monetize it. So the first thing that we're going to be talking about in creating a podcast is really, why are you starting it? I've been seeing a lot of people start a podcast with no real clear message to say. So if you want to start a podcast, you want to really make sure that, first of all, you have a clear message that you want to say, that you're passionate about, whether you're educating someone or you're entertaining them. There has to be a purpose to it, right? And I see a lot of people doing this just because everyone else is doing it and they want to jump in the bandwagon, and we obviously don't want to do that. So the first thing is, have a clear message, know who you're going to be talking to, know your levels of expertise or the type of entertainment you're going to give to people, understand what your audience wants to hear from you and what they really need from you at that time as well. You want to share your expertise or, help others learn from other experts in your niche. As you can see from my podcast, I interview a lot of digital nomads. So I not only learn from them, but I also share those insights with you so we can all learn together. So it has to be a win-win for everybody. Now, if you're not doing experts on your show, I had mentioned before, you're probably wanting to entertain them. So make sure that you understand what type of entertainment people need. I think right now, because we're all stuck at home during COVID, a lot of people really need something to take them out of where they are right now, make the mood maybe a little lighter, or maybe talk about those things that we're feeling and really sharing how you can get over that. So there's so many things that you can do with your podcast specifically right now, because so many people need content that they can relate to or they can forget about things, And another thing is about podcasting is that you have to constantly want to learn, not just about technical stuff, right? Because obviously you're going to need to know technical things. Even now we're all working remotely. There's a lot of remote recordings that need to be done, and sometimes you will have some difficulties with that. You need to figure out what type of equipment to use, etc., etc. So, and then once that you have that going, you also need to learn how to market and grow it, and it's just constantly evolving. whether it's from starting your growth, monetization, how to make this more sustainable, and so forth. So you always want to learn and keep learning and be a constant student. And whether it's podcasting or any type of business, this is really one of the biggest things that you need to do as an entrepreneur, is to constantly learn. Now, the other thing that I want to talk about is why you shouldn't start a podcast, right? And I've mentioned this is, don't do it just because everybody else is doing it. I know that it can be easy to find podcasting as something new, something shiny. You know, I talk about this a lot, having shiny object syndrome. We don't want to do that. Just because it seems like the new cool thing to do doesn't mean it would be right for you. So figure that out first. Are you doing this for all the right reasons? Or are you doing this because you really have a clear message to say and you're going to be putting your all into this? Now, if it's just a hobby, that's fine. That's great. Start whatever. But if it's something that you want to add on to your business, also ask yourself, is this going to give you value, or is this going to take away from the current projects that you have now? If you're already feeling overwhelmed with the projects that you have right now, I would have to say that don't start it right now, because that means that instead of making your current business grow, you're actually taking away from that. And instead of making it better, maybe you're taking away from it. So think about that. Maybe make a list of all the things that you're doing. Is there anything that you can do with your current business that you can make better? Maybe up that level. If you are feeling fine with your business, you know, it's growing steadily and you have assistants and other people to do all the other things, the nitty-gritty part, and then you need another extra level of marketing that you can use for your business, then podcasting may be the right avenue for you. Or maybe this is just a new platform that you want to get into because you love talking to people, you love explaining things with your voice instead of writing a blog, for example, you know, so this could be the right thing for you. And I also don't want people to start a podcast because you think this is easy, because I can tell you firsthand, it is definitely not easy. I've been doing this for a little over 2 years and I'm still learning new things and I'm still tweaking so many different things because it is not an easy platform. And I'm pretty sure that a lot of people in other platforms, I mean, I have a website and I know it's not hard. I mean, it's not easy. I'm sure if you have a YouTube channel, you know how hard it is to get to a certain point. If you do vlogs, you know that that's hard. So just understand that this is not an easy platform to be in. And again, there's so many different things that you're going to need to constantly learn. And obviously the biggest thing is, if you don't have a message and you're just doing this because you think you should be doing this, then don't do it, right? And another thing is, you think you're going to be making money right away. You know, if you do have an audience, a big audience already, and you market yourself really well, I am not saying you can't, right? Within a few months, maybe even as soon as you even start it, you can start creating income. You know, I know a few of my friends who have started podcasts and started making from the first episode, but that's because they already learned strategies that they can implement to the new platform. So they already have an audience built in. They have either a blog, social media, and so forth. And they also know a lot of brands already to work with, that those brands have gotten in and they want to be a part of this new platform that they're building because they know that this person can make it successful. So not to say that you can't make money right away, but if you have never done this and you don't have a built-in audience, it is going to be a lot harder for you to get to that point, but it is definitely not impossible. You can definitely create that income, but again, this is not easy to do. A lot of people who do that have already done all of the work, hours and hours, hundreds and maybe even thousands of hours of work to create a marketing strategy for their business in order to take it with them to a new platform. So just think about that. And man, podcasting is super, super rewarding. I love this platform. If it wasn't for podcasting, I would not be here talking to you today. I have grown my business because of this. People know me as a podcaster, and I'm loving all of the different insights that I learned and I have shared with my audience. And if you are doing this for all the right reasons and you know that you want to make an impact, then this is a great platform to be in. So I'm super excited if you're thinking about starting a podcast and really serious about this, whether a hobby or turning it into a business. It is such a fulfilling platform to be in. And I congratulate you if you already started it, and I'm pretty sure you're going to keep doing well as long as you know the strategies to go forward in. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this talk about podcasting. If you want to learn more about how to start and create your own podcast, you could go to howtocreateapodcast.com, and I have a ton of free resources there. I also have my ebook, How to Create a Profitable Podcast, where I pretty much share all of my tips and tricks on how to start, grow, and monetize your show. I emphasize more on monetizing because that's really what I believe a lot of podcasters don't go into, and even podcasters who are super successful do not know how to actually monetize their passion and this platform. So I give you a lot of details on that on the book itself. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to send me an email at info@howtocreateapodcast.com. And if you also have any questions, suggestions, send it my way there. We also share the most frequently asked questions in our emails. So if you're a subscriber to an email, we send you an email once a week to answer all of those questions that maybe you have been wanting to ask me or other podcasters as well. So make sure you subscribe to that. Or, if you want to add your question there and get it answered, just let me know as well. So again, that email is info@howtocreateapodcast.com. Thank you guys for listening to this episode. I hope that you all are staying safe, sane, and healthy. I know this is crazy right now, but I believe that we're going to get through this together. Obviously, it's not just, happy all the time, but let's make sure that we're taking care of ourselves, whether, it's being productive or maybe just being more lazy these days. You do you. Okay? You do you. So thank you guys again, and I will talk to you again soon. Hey friend, are you looking to land a remote gig ASAP? Well, did you know that we not only have a ton of online jobs you can apply to on our site, but now we're also sending them straight to your inbox. I'm happy to announce that we will be sending our email subscribers legit online jobs every Wednesdays. We have done hours and hours of research, so you don't have to. If you want to be the first one to hear about the remote gigs we find, go to theoffbeatlife.com to subscribe.